Well, it is 6:15 and time now for What's Trending. Pam Patterson will never forget the moment she walked down the aisle to marry Jeremy Salda, in part because it was in an aisle 37,000 feet up in the air over the state of Arizona. The Oklahoma City couple had planned to get hitched in Vegas, except their connecting flight out of Dallas got canceled. But sometimes bad luck just means great unexpected memories in the making. An ordained minister overheard what was going on and offered to marry them himself. And they found 3 open seats on another flight. As they were boarding, Pam joked with the pilot about a plane wedding, and when the pilot said, "Let's do it," the crew sprung into action. Decorating the cabin with toilet paper streamers, a flight attendant stood in as the maid of honor, and there was a professional photographer on board to handle the pics. And another passenger passed around an old notebook as a makeshift guest book. You know, that's awesome to see that they were able to change their plans just like that, because true love, it doesn't matter if you get married in a church, on a beach, in Vegas, on a plane. True love will succeed anywhere.
Right, and it sounds like if I heard this story correctly, though, that they had to do this because I guess one of their other flights to get to the wedding.
They couldn't get to Vegas.
They couldn't get to Vegas. So it's definitely a very nice idea and definitely a good way to. I mean, you gotta get creative, right? And sometimes, obviously, you want that wedding day to be the most perfect day ever, right? You want to be able to just be able to celebrate and to have everything go right. And obviously, as many would know, sometimes weddings don't go right all the time, though. So sometimes what you're able to accomplish can definitely be very accomplishing in getting up married.
It's definitely a case that they'll never forget. It's a special moment that they can all share on the plane, and I'm sure I get bored on a plane ride, so this will actually make it a lot more entertaining to from Dallas to Vegas. So
for sure. I mean, although the views from planes are very beautiful, though, so it's definitely very cool, though. I mean, being able to get married on a plane, obviously, it gets a little challenging, though, because obviously not only do you have the plane cruising, but obviously sometimes going up and down too a little bit.
Turbulence,
Yeah, the turbulence. So that can get pretty challenging, and obviously they were able to pull that off without a hitch.
Yeah, for sure, definitely, and congratulations to the couple again.
Yeah, congratulations. Indeed. But meanwhile, though, an Italian woman gets a birthday surprise, 77 years in the making. You can call it a make-good for what American soldiers did during World War II. This week, the U.S. military delivered a Mary Mian a birthday cake covered in icing and decked out with fresh fruit on top. It was a special ceremony in Italy to celebrate her 90th birthday. The story dates to April 28, 1945. And one day before Mian's 13th birthday, U.S. troops from the 80th Infantry were fighting German soldiers in northeastern Italy when gunfire erupted near her family's farm. Mian and her mother hid in the attic, and the next day a freshly baked cake her mother had left on the windowsill was gone, taken and eaten by American troops in the area. And over time, a strong bond developed between the U.S. military and local residents, a bond that continues to this day. This week's presentation brought tears and happiness for Mian as well as for the soldiers and hundreds of others there to see it. So how about that? It's definitely very interesting, though, because obviously for those that are out definitely serving our country, we thank those soldiers that serve our country each and every day. And definitely an interesting memory, though. You never know what you're going to be able to definitely, I guess, stumble upon and whenever you're out in the doing that mission.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely a very interesting case. I saw this story last week, and it was it caught my eye a lot because, like, all this time later, 77 years later, they still remember her, and it's just a great thing that to see our wonderful servicemen and women are able to do to repay the cake that they took.
Right, and obviously not only some heartfelt, I guess, sincerity there, but also, I mean, again, it's definitely some memories there, and maybe a little bit of humor there too when you kind of think about it, though, because they ate the cake, and obviously they're repaying it back all these years later.
Yeah, for sure. Well, taking a turn to our last story, a North Texas high school thinks it is setting a world record with its 2022 2022 graduating class. There are an incredible 35 sets of twins among the graduating seniors and 1 set of triplets. And you aren't seeing double in this video, just dozens of Mansfield High School seniors who happen to be twins. Some of the twins are staying together after high school, while others are planning on going to different schools across different parts of the country. Mansfield High School has 2,600 students in its student body. According to the tech.org, twins occur in about 1 in 250 pregnancies, and reproductivefacts.org says that triplets occur in about 1 in 10,000 pregnancies. How about that? 35 twins. I think there was my class, I'm trying to remember, I think there was 1 pair of twins in my graduating class. And then, fun fact, my mom is also a twin, though it's a fraternal twin, non-identical.
Non-identical,
Yeah.
so I think fraternal is the correct word.
I think
though.
it's fraternal.
But yeah, I know when I was in high school band, I know a set of triplets too,
Okay.
and it was so easy to mix their names up. I mean, you can kind of tell with those specific details that you can kind of tell them apart a little bit, but it definitely made things very interesting though. And of course, I think in my class for sure, I think I also had some identical twins. I would always mix them up, and it's
I
definitely
had one, they
the fun
thankfully like wore their hair differently so you could tell them apart. So, and then they had a different voice too when you were talking to them, so that helped a lot.
And for sure, and sometimes you would still get their names mixed up. Though,
Oh yeah,
so-
I'll do that anyway.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, sometimes what I do with my brother sometimes too.